Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back with some more Sky Bet League One content. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. We are so close to 16,000 subscribers. I think we're around about 150 away, so any help will be appreciated. In today's video, we're going to have a look at Bolton Wanderers, and specifically Ian Evatt. Is he the right man to lead them forwards on a longer term basis? Been at the football club for 5 years now. I think it's important we have a look at it. Before I do get into it, I just want to make my feelings clear. I've got absolutely nothing against Bolton Wanderers as a football club. I think they've got an unbelievable fan base that deserves better and deserves the success they've had in recent years. But should that be counted as success, getting to a playoff and not getting promoted? I don't quite think so. We're going to have a look at it. I think they've got a brilliant football club. I think the board there have been a breath of fresh air since walking into the football club. But questions have to be asked. 42 League One games this year Bolton Wanderers have played. They've won 19 of them. They've drawn 12 and lost 11. Now, the numbers for that is 69 points from 42 games. Now, you go and, add 4 games onto that PPG, points per game, which I'm a big advocate for. I think it's important, if your club is like Bolton, you want to know if you're on track. Sometimes it means absolutely nothing because in the January of their League Two season, they're on course for a bottom 6 finish. They ended up getting into the top 3 and getting promoted. It can soon change. But it's worth noting this is not just this season, it's a 10-month period of not great results, but bad performances as well. Now, they will be on for around about 75 points. Now, the last 3 full seasons of Sky Bet League One, that isn't enough to get into the playoffs. This is Bolton Wanderers over 42 games of sustained bad performances and sustained bad results. You say that in the last 11 games, only Wycombe have got more points than them. Birmingham have got the same amount of points than them in the last 11 games. Let's have a look at it. They've won 7, they've drawn 2, they've lost 2. They've lost to Birmingham away and lost to Stockport away. Bad defeats, they didn't play well. They didn't show what they were all about. At home, they got absolutely hammered before that to Huddersfield. They were poor against Wrexham in that game where they drew 0-0. There was a lot of corners, but they didn't really create enough in that game. Even in that 11-game run, if you go and have a look at it, there'd be a pretty abject Reading side at home, who Reading have been poor away from home for 18 months, 24 months. For a long period of time, they picked up recently, to be fair to them. They drew at home to Shrewsbury, where Ian Evatt lost his head and basically squared up to one of their players. That's also alarm bells ringing. Why would you be doing that? They beat a pretty abject Blackpool side in the last minute as well, where Bolton, yes, they did play well in that second half. First half, nowhere to be seen as well. Then you look at performances that they squeaked past Crawley away from home. Northampton, they were brilliant for 75 minutes. They looked absolutely dead. After 75, 80 minutes, this Bolton Wanderers side that have been fitter than everyone in the last few years, going to the very end, had absolutely nothing and came up short. And they conceded 2 really soft goals. They ended up winning the game of football. I'm nitpicking, but it's fair. Peterborough, they created a lot of chances. The expected goals was up there. And this is all we hear from Ian Evatt. The XG this, and we did this. Not we got the result, or not that, we're doing this right. It's the same things every week, and it's just not quite working. They got the 3 points against Peterborough, and deservedly so. And look, they played some tough sides in that 11-game period. They've got good results. And yeah, 7 results in 11 is good enough. 23 points from a possible 33 is good enough long term. But the fan base still want the manager out. Yesterday they played Cambridge when you're watching this video, and they drew 1-1. And they played against 10 men since the 49th minute. So you look at it for 45 minutes with injury time, you're playing against 10 men. A side that started the season really poorly, just lost 6-0 to Peterborough, and you're playing against 10 men. You get the goal. Then Ian Evatt saying, I bring the big lads on to contain their strengths and coming at us. You are Bolton Wanderers Football Club. You've got a better team than Cambridge. And that's no slant on Cambridge United as a football club. But you are Bolton Wanderers. You've got enough talent in that squad to go and get a second goal. Any manager, compliment manager, a good manager would be thinking, let's attack. Let's go and get a second. Let's go and get a third. Because that's how you should be playing the game of football. I get the last 5 minutes of the game, it's edgy, you see it out, but they never really look like they're going to score that second goal. And that's worrying when you're Bolton in League One. Now, for me, there's not many bigger football clubs in the bottom two divisions than Bolton Wanderers. I look probably and think Birmingham are the standout, but other than that, there's no one. And they are bigger than 5 or 6 clubs in the league above as well. They should be a championship football club. Ian Evatt's done a remarkable job at that football club, getting them promoted, and the board did stay loyal to him in the January to February period where they brought players in like Dapo Lions in. They brought the experienced lads into the team as well, the likes of Alex Baptiste, Matt Gilks. They won a promotion, and deservedly so. That last 4 months, they were phenomenal. They weren't great to watch at times. You know, it was behind closed doors, but they got the job done. They were winning games of football. They came up, they started slowly in League One. You know, they had some poor results in the Cup as well. They lost to Stockport in the FA Cup, you know, in around the November time. Questions got asked. They brought in the likes of James Trafford, John Daddy Bartholson, and they were brilliant till the end of the season. They went on this unbelievable period where they were winning every week, and they finished on around 73 points. They were 9 points off the playoffs, but if the season would have gone on another 5-10 games, you'd have fancied them to get into the playoffs. That's how good form they went into. The next season, season 2, was always a season of attack. Let's get into the playoffs. And they did that. That season, Bolton Wanderers got into the playoffs. In the semi-finals against Barnsley, they just never turned up. They lost 2-1 in aggregate, never turned up, were flat, and they looked like they were tired. They conceded 36 goals in the regular season. This season already, and they played 16 games, they've conceded 26 goals. So 30 games less, and they've conceded 10 goals less already. Now that, for me, shows alarm bells. Bolton Wanderers, their strengths were keeping it tight at the back, being solid, but you know, in the players they had in the forward area back then, and now they've got enough in them. And I think the forward areas are very similar. I think John McAtee, Dion Charles, Aaron Collins are very similar players. They are players that get into pockets, get on the last line of the defenders, can run into the box, and Dion will probably get you between 15 and 20. Aaron Collins will probably get you between 10 and 15, and McAtee will probably get you between 8 and 12. That is your limits there. You know, I think they're missing a John Daddy Bodvarsson figure. Not the greatest of footballers, but someone that can put an elbow in there. Someone that really irritates defenders. They haven't got that. They've got no plan B, in my opinion. Their tactics is play out from the back. That's their strength. On this season already, Huddersfield, Stockport, Charlton, Ricardo Santos has been playing out, or defenders have been playing out. They've been caught. They look so unconfident from playing out from the back. They look shaky. They've conceded goals from it. Look, the Charlton one was a screamer from outside the box. It's poor. The Huddersfield one is absolutely laughable. You wouldn't see that at under 12s football. It's a joke. And then the Stockport one, I've got no words. Jay Matete loses the ball and then Stockport score. You can't go and lose 5-0 to Stockport County. The reaction's been good since, but you can't do this. And this is a 10-month period. Over the last 11 games, the results have been better. We've mentioned that. But performances have been flat. And they've been kind of going, yes, we've won. If I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and I'm putting this out there, I'm going into games thinking, okay, we've won today, but I'm not happy because questions won't get asked of the performance. The performances, when they've won, have been poor. The Blackpool performance the other day, let's be honest about it, it wasn't great. It was good in parts, but that team at home should be performing that. You know, at home this year, yes, they've only lost a couple of games, but they're not winning enough at home. They're not seeing off teams enough. They're not doing enough in the games to make you think this team are going to go and get promoted. Like Birmingham, they go and get the job done easily enough. Wrexham get the job done easily enough, regularly enough. Wickham this season. And Bolton Wanderers will be looking, well, Wickham are doing it. Wrexham are doing it. Stockport are doing it. Why can't we do it? This is their 4th year in League One. For year 1 and year 2, it was fine doing this. Year 3 last year, up to January, brilliant. After January, they've been pretty mid-table at best. In the playoffs against Barnsley, first leg, they were the better side. Second leg, lucky to scrape through. I was at that game. And I looked at the shape. I was right on the halfway line, playing a back three. It didn't suit them at all. And I know they've got attacking wing backs, and I know Santos is primarily plays in a back three, and you've got to fit round your better players. But I feel that sometimes they're playing too much towards Santos' strengths. And I looked at them last year, and they looked a team tired. Same system every week, same players every week. No real players that could come in and change it for them. The playoff final, their best player came off the bench, Kyle Dempsey. Criminal how he didn't start the game, and misread again. And he's called out a few players now this year, has Ian Evatt, about Dion. You know, he's the top goal scorer and he's being called out. I mean, I think Dion's a player that we've seen. He can go 10 games without a goal. He'll score one and he'll go and score 9 in 9. He needs an arm round him. He's not one of those players I don't think that, you know, needs a rocket up him. I think he needs an arm round him saying things are going to be okay. And when he does, he performs. So I'm just a bit concerned for them. Ian Evatt is a fantastic manager. He is. You know, what he's done at that football club, he won't be out of work for long when he does leave Bolton Wanderers. And I think it is going to happen sooner rather than later. He's got a safe job with the board. He's friends with the board. And I think he gets away with it for what he's done previously and what he did in that first year, because he thought, well, we trusted him then. He's been in worse situations and got out of it. Sometimes that can be a bit poured later down the line because you think you're scared to make a decision. And that's the issue. Ian Evatt will go on managing the Championship one day. I just don't think he's the man to take Bolton from a League One to the Championship. I just don't think in big games. I think he overthinks it a little bit, and I don't think he's got that quite bit of steel in him. It's a good squad. It's a competitive squad. Should be in the playoffs. Should be winning 7 out of 11. Why are we saying that? Oh, they're doing well. You're Bolton Wanderers Football Club. You are a massive football club with a decent budget, 20,000 behind you every week. That's an extra man. When I go to Bolton Wanderers, I'm stuck in the top tier or even in the bottom tier. I'm thinking, we're in for it today. We're in for it today. We're going to struggle today. You know, we're underdogs. That's what you should feel. You should feel, you know, we're going into it with this siege mentality. And he used to be aggressive with it. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight. He looks like he's lost a bit of confidence. He looks drained. And it never ends well. One final point I'll make. When a fan base like Bolton Wanderers, who I think are unbelievable, by the way, turn on you, they don't very rarely turn back and become on your side again. Bolton Wanderers thrive off a crowd. Bolton Wanderers thrive off being, you know, fully behind them. I went in the playoff final, they had the clappers on. They were unbelievable behind the team and they got over that line. The season before, they went on this unbelievable run because of the crowd, because of the mentality of they wanted to go to the games. They were singing the songs. They were, you know, it was bouncing. You thought, wow, unbelievable this. Now it's subdued. They win 2-1 against Blackpool, a big rival of theirs. And it's like, well, we've won a game of football. It shouldn't be like that. And that's where you know there's a problem at Bolton Wanderers. The fix, I think a change is needed. I think it's past its sell-bait. The magic has gone. The spark has gone. The energy has gone. And I'm not saying he's done a bad job. I think he's done a phenomenal job. But sometimes you just got to pass the baton on. Danny Cowley left the foundations for John Messino to go and win promotion at Portsmouth. Ian Evatt has left, I think, the seed and all the seeds to go with it. And he just needs someone to run that last 50 metres of the 400-metre race that he's led. He's done so much work. I just feel that last 50 metres he's going to stumble across. A lot of work needed. These next 6 weeks are massive because Bolton Wanderers should not be in this league. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought down below as well. Please like, please subscribe. I hope this comes across in a good way as well. Let me know what you think of these style of videos. I hope you do enjoy. Until next time, I will see you later.